Hey guys, this is a review video if you are struggling with the MLA citations for your article summaries. So if you have been struggling completing those, what you need to do is go to classwork and then scroll down to week 3 and click on week 3. Once you get to week 3, what you want to do is click on the copy of the Purdue OWL MLA presentation. So again, this video is to help you create a citation for your citation and article summary for the assignments on Friday within week 3 and Monday and Tuesday in week 4. Once the presentation loads, you are going to scroll down within the presentation. And click on slide 30. Once you get to slide 30, this is where you will find the order and the information that you need to put into a citation. So another way to find this information is to go to Google. And once you go to Google, sorry, the internet is being slow, type in Purdue OWL MLA and click enter. The first thing that should come up is MLA Formatting and Style Guide. Once that page loads, scroll down and you are going to click on the MLA Works Cited Electronic Sources page. The electronic sources page is going to show you how to put in the information based upon online electronic sources. So like an online article, a website, anything like that. And it gives you examples as well if you are struggling. So you want to have that list of information ready right there. So once you have your information and have an example up of how to insert the information either here or on the presentation, you are going to set up your document. So again, in your document, you want to have size 12 font, you want it to be in Times New Roman, and you want your line spacing to be in double. Once you get that set up, you need to type in how you would format an MLA document. So you begin with your name, and again, you put in your name, not my name. You put in the class, so English 2. You put in the teacher, me, Miss Griffith, and then you put in the date, October 1st, 2020. And you want to spell out the date. You don't want to do 10-1-2020. Once you do that, you're going to press center, and this is where you're going to put your title. So your title should be relevant to the topic. Once you get your title done, make sure you put it back in left alignment. You will begin your citation. So again, your citation is just the information that tells the reader who, what, and where your article is from. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do a New York Times article. I misspelled York, but that's okay. So I'm going to go to Tech and see what articles are there. Let's do how to declutter your digital world. Okay, so now that the article is up, I've got my document set up. I'm going to look at my list of things that I need to have to be able to do my citation. So let's look at the slides presentation, and the first thing that I need is the author. So let's go to the article. And at the top of the article, it should tell you who the author is. So Sarah Aridi. So in my document, I'm going to list the author, and you do last name first. So Aridi Sarah, and if you'll notice in the PowerPoint, it gives you the punctuation that you put at the end of that series of information. So a period goes after the author, and then we look for the title of the source. So I put a period. Let's look at the title of the source. How to declutter your digital world. And I'm going to capitalize this exactly as it appears in the article. And you will put a period at the end of the title, or if there is another piece of punctuation within the title, like a question mark, you would put that down instead. After you do your title, you are going to look for the title of the container, and then you're going to put a comma. So when you are looking at an article from a website, you are going to ask yourself, what contains this article? What houses this article? And the answer is the New York Times. So typically your container, if it's for an online source, is the website that contains that article or that information. So the New York Times is ours. And if you look right here, the title of the website or the container is in italics. So we're going to go back. We're going to click on italics, and I'm going to do the New York Times.com, and then add in my comma, and that is my container. And then I'm going to unitalicize. After we do that, we're going to look and see if there's any other contributors. So are there any other people who edited the document, or any other additional authors, or anyone who helped in any way to write this article? We're going to see if there's any version numbers or publishers as well. So to find those other contributors, you're going to look at the top of the article and see. The only other thing that we have is Dominic Kesterton, and he is the illustrator of this. This picture or this image is not important to our summary of the article, so we don't have to put him. So let's scroll to the bottom and see if there are any other contributors listed. And there is not. So we're going to go back to the top, so we don't have any other contributors, so we don't have to put that piece of information in. Are there any versions or numbers? Sometimes you'll have an edition number or a version of a book, but the only numbers we have here are dates where the article was updated or published. So because it doesn't specifically tell us any editions or any numbers, we don't have to put that. Now we need to look and see if there's a publisher. Typically, within an online article, your publisher is your container. The New York Times published this article, and the New York Times is the container. So we do not have to put a publisher down. If we were looking at a book, we might have to put a publisher down like Bloomsbury or Penguin Books, but because this is an online article from a website, we don't have a publisher. So we skip that information. We look for a publication date. We do have a publication date, September 12th, 2020. So in our citation, we are going to put the publication date. Now, in this, you put the day, you put the month, and you always shorten the month to 3 letters. And then you put the year. And then after the publication date, it asks you for a publication location. Again, if this were from a book, it would have been published in New York or a certain area like that. This doesn't specifically tell us where it was published. We could assume it would be published in New York, but it doesn't tell us specifically, so we don't put that down. So our last piece of information in the citation that we can find within the article is the publication date, so we put a period. Now, there are 2 more things we want to include. We want to include the URL. So we go to the top and we click on the URL, and we're going to hit CTRL and C to copy it. And then we're going to paste it within the citation, and then we're going to put a period at the end of it. And then our last thing that we're going to put is the date that we read it. So you put accessed on and the date that you read the article. So the 1st of October, 3 letters, 2020. And then we end it with a period. Now, you're still not done with your citation. You're done with the information that goes within it, but you have to do a hanging indent. So a hanging indent is anything after the first line, you indent those lines. So to do that, you put your cursor, which is this, in front of that first letter within that second line or third line, and you click down so that it starts blinking in front of that. Then you press Enter and Tab. And it's going to bring your line over. So that is a hanging indent. But you have to do anything after the first line. So you're going to go and you're going to go to the third line. You're going to click your cursor right there. And you're going to hit Enter. And it should auto-correct that line over to be underneath the second line. If it didn't automatically do it when you hit Enter, you would just go ahead and hit Tab and it would do it for you. So now that you are finished with the citation, you're going to press Enter and you're going to come underneath and press Backspace so that you're all the way over on the left alignment, and you are going to begin your summary. Now, you do not have to indent the paragraph if the paragraph or if your summary is only 1 paragraph. If your summary is more than 1 paragraph, then I do want you to indent it. That way I can tell the separation of the paragraphs. So this is what your article summary and your citation would look like. So if you have any further questions, just let me know.